Apple's got a big secret that no one is talking about. Deep inside of Apple Park, past the folding iPhone and the wild MacBoard prototype, lives something special, something that's never gonna be released. This is Apple's most secretive product ever, and wow, it is actually insane. But it's never going to see the light of day for two big reasons. The first is that if it got out, it would destroy Apple. And the second reason, well, you're gonna have to stick around to find out why. Also, two quick things you need to know. One is a big thanks to ESR for sponsoring this video, and the second is a question. Do you remember what your very first Apple product was? Because I do.
Just wanted to record this quick video with my iPhone 3GS. Hopefully it's not too shaky.
To be 100% honest, I cringe every time I not only have to go searching for these videos, but that I'm once again resurfacing them on the internet for all, I don't know, nearly 400,000 of you all to see. But I do it for a couple of reasons. Obviously, you gotta forgive me for the weird dress apparel and hair and glasses and all that stuff. I was a kid, but I still watch those videos back with fond memories because I remember how special that was and what it was like to be an Apple fan. What is it, 18 years ago now at this point? It was such an awesome feeling because Apple was so different and so special, and their products were unique in a lot of great ways. Like many, I grew up with a Windows PC in the house. This was the computer that was the big, ugly beige box used for word processing, internet browsing. It all just felt very sterile. But the Mac, that was cool. And Apple embraced this think different motto in a lot of great ways. And back in the day, Apple used to do a lot of fun stuff that really brought personality to their products. Like some of you might remember that back in the day when you booted up your Mac for the very first time, it played a really fun animation video with music and different effects. It was really cool. Remember when Apple logos used to glow? That was super cool. And especially I remember my very first Mac back at the time of silver and boring, weird form factors for Windows laptops. Apple was making a white and black plastic MacBook. And I not only include these videos here in this video to embarrass myself once again, but to look back and sort of remember that time in the tech and Apple world, because I think we were starting to see a big shift in how the company was sort of operating, what their priorities were. Apple not only sort of continued to make really great products, but they built up this really great ecosystem around them that just made using all of them together seamless, easy, and to be a little cliche, things did seem to work a little bit like magic. And I'll certainly admit that I've had my fair share of criticism here of Tim Cook on this channel. I always haven't loved every decision he's made as CEO, but credit where credit's due, one of the great things that Tim Cook has done for Apple is not just make overall some really great products and upgrades, but to build up this ecosystem that really brought you not only into the Apple Store to buy that product, but to enjoy, like my friend John Rettinger says, those intangibles, those benefits you really can't explain or describe, but they're there and it just works. One of the best examples I always love to give is AirPods, because when Apple first launched this, it was super controversial and everyone thought this was destined to be a flop. But the only person that really sort of had the last laugh with that was Apple, because AirPods was just a groundbreaking, phenomenal success that in and of itself is like a huge multi-billion-dollar business. One of Apple's little accessories is bigger than some major tech companies. Even with a good price, you still want to make sure your AirPods are protected. You want to protect that investment, especially as they're prone to drops and random falls out of your pocket, which is why my AirPods 4 have got this really sleek case equipped on them. This is the Cyber Flick Lock case from ESR, and it's got a whole lot of unique stuff going for it. Not only is this case packing a really cool and unique cyber theme, but it's got this special flick lock technology that combines super strong magnets and an internal latch to make sure this doesn't sort of pop open and then your AirPods go flying. I will speak from experience, learn from my mistakes so you don't have to repeat it. I was on an airplane, AirPods fell. It's the classic move. The AirPods go flying, and that's the story on how I spent an absurd amount of money to replace one of my AirPod buds that I was never able to find on that plane again. With this Cyber Flick Lock case, you can like drop this thing on the ground, you can chuck it on the ground, and it's not going to fly open. Not only protecting like the very fragile AirPods case that's like underneath, but also making sure that the buds just don't go flying, as they're always prone to do for some reason. What's also nice here is that it's still retaining that really nice sort of AirPods classic open with one hand design. You just slide over this button and boom, your AirPods are accessible and ready to go. And I also do appreciate that the status light for AirPods, sort of if you can know if they need to be paired or if the battery's running low, can easily be seen through the case here as well. Hardware is super nice here. They've also got a nice built-in clip that you can use to attach this to a bag, a backpack, so you can sort of have that security while you're on the go. And what I also like here is that they've got super strong magnets in the case as well that make wireless charging not only fully compatible, but make it so AirPods aren't going anywhere on the wireless charger. It is way better than the built-in magnets in the standard AirPods case. And if you want those features, but want something with a little bit of a different design, maybe something with a color palette that better suits you, ESR has also got you covered with the Orbit Hybrid case. This packs sort of the same technology. You've got this really nice set of strong magnets inside for wireless charging. The case is not going to be flying open. You've got that built-in clip for easily attaching it to things, and also just a nice, colorful, but durable and protective material here. So if you're looking for a fantastic AirPods case with strong magnets, really nice added durability, but also a sleek design and easy open and close functionality, ESR has got you covered with their lineup. Learn more and check them out for yourself today and add them to your AirPods. The link right down below in the description. There are other examples of Apple products made to work with other Apple products as well. I think of the Apple Watch, for example. Love it or hate it, it has really become sort of a class in and of itself and is a wonderful companion if you've got one of these on your wrist to pair it with one of these. AirTag is another great example I love to talk about because it's one of the best priced Apple products at around $30. It actually has a removable battery, which I mean, I guess technically you can replace the battery, but it's really not the same. And again, it's an Apple product made to work with another Apple product and works so well. And I think in a lot of cases, the ecosystem, though it's sort of a dirty word to some, this is like Apple's secret weapon, that it's not just the iPhone, it's not just the Mac, but it's these things together, working together, seamlessly syncing, that seems to make everything just so great. And when it works, the Apple ecosystem is amazing, but there's a problem. A couple of big problems that could sort of kill Apple's best kept secret. Really, the bad news for Apple these days is that they're sort of forced to make some major changes from the inside and from the outside. From the outside, obviously, there's a lot of governments around the world looking to crack down on Apple's bad or shady behavior. For example, of course, we all know these days the EU is basically sort of given the credit for forcing Apple to adopt USB-C on all of their products. And also Apple adopting RCS wasn't really something done from the kindness of their heart to sort of make messaging great between iPhone and Android phones, because that breaks the ecosystem. They were sort of forced to do that. There's also, of course, we can't forget the US Justice Department suing Apple for monopolistic practices. Haven't gotten an update on that over the last couple of months, and I don't know if maybe Tim Cook has aligned himself well with the new administration, so that won't any longer be a problem. I don't know where this is going to go, but it's still on the table, and government regulation and government scrutiny is certainly cracking down on Apple and will eventually break up the ecosystem because some think it's a little too closed and doesn't allow for fair competition. On the other hand, though, it's not just governments and external pressures looking to sort of break up the ecosystem, but it's also some of Apple's flops. I think that, credit where credit's due. I think it's great that Apple's trying things, but some of their ways to expand the ecosystem haven't really been all that well received. For example, I still don't know of anybody who actually uses Apple News and Apple Arcade on a regular basis. Apple Music, I think, is great. iCloud, I still don't understand why the free tier is basically worthless, but besides that, it actually has gotten a lot better. Remember the old .Mac and Mobile Me days? Apple has come a long way from that, but some of their subscription offerings haven't been all that well received. Apple Card has been a nightmare from all external accounts. I really don't know why Apple wanted to get into the credit card game, but I digress. One of the bigger issues, though, I think one of the big problems Apple has seen is with a new breed of products to work with other Apple products or work within the ecosystem that haven't worked out all that well. The big one that comes to mind for me over the last couple of months is Vision Pro. This was really kind of a first of its kind Apple product in many different ways, but one of the big ones is that this was your portal to the Apple ecosystem. Now, I'm not sure if this is a technical issue. Probably it's more likely a pricing issue that $3,500 is just too expensive. But again, Apple's got to figure out a way to strengthen up that ecosystem in two big ways. Make it compelling at an affordable price, and also not make it too compelling or too closed off that the government is going to come in even more and try to break it up. So Apple's in a bit of a tough situation. So for me, I'd love to see more things like AirTag and AirPods around those price points and that set of features than $4,000 Vision Pros that are state-of-the-art. I think more stuff at sort of the lower end, more value there and more features there goes a lot further for most people than things over there. Also, speaking of things I'd love to see, if Apple could just take a little bit of money from one of their other departments like Vision Pro and just put it towards upgrading the base iCloud storage tier. So my parents and everybody I know doesn't have to pay $1 a month just to get usable storage. That would be great. Like I said, iCloud has gotten really good over the last couple of years. iCloud Photos, I mean, it's great having that backup, but to have it at the price point it is, like you have to basically pay to use it, is just kind of insane. Anyways, soapbox, stepping off, I'm done with that. Curious guys, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the Apple ecosystem in 2024? Is this Apple's best kept secret? Is it their secret weapon? Is it the thing that sort of draws you into the ecosystem? Or do you think that it's a distant memory of Apple that's going to eventually get broken up and broken down due to these internal and external issues? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you as always. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.